What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell's Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Pull up the deuces. There you go, baby.
Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to Caves. I'm Christopher James. I am Christopher James, and I am happy to be back with all of you. It's been a minute, boys and girls, but I've been busy. So, I had to take a little break, get myself prepared for some surgery, and, stuff like that. Plus, it was the holidays, and I wanted to spend some time with my grandson. Have a little good times. And now we are live. So I'm doing a little maintenance here right now just to post this out there. Stand by for me for 1 second, guys. Happy to have you guys jumping in with me tonight. Share the broadcast out across the planet if you can. Heavyweight. All right, so we are here. We are live, and it is time to party, boys and girls. Welcome to Cage Talk with Christopher James. I am Christopher James. Like I said, I'm happy to be back with you guys tonight. Let me get to the comments over here. Hell yeah, Bobo is on the show. That's right, Forrest. I was letting the cat out of the bag a little late, just because I wanted to be, fun. So a couple of things. First of all, a lot of people have been asking me how I've been doing since my back surgery. I had back surgery on January 12th. I went back to my regular job last night for the first time in quite some time. Oh, wow, I lost a friend today. I wonder who dipped off. I always pay attention to my friend's stuff, to see who's sticking around. And you know what? I never know who dipped when they dip. So, but whatever. If you dip, that's on you, man. I ain't got time for your drama and your stupidity. And if you don't like me, you don't like me. I guess that's all I could say. If you like me, you like me. And if you don't, you don't. But, it is what it is. So, whoever left, deuces. So we've had a lot go on. UFC took a break, came back with an event prior to UFC 270. But we're so far removed from past that, I'm not even going to get into that one right now. But I am going to talk about UFC 270. There was a lot to unpack there. I was a little, shocked at some of the stuff that happened there. Not just in the fights and in the octagon, but outside of the octagon as well. And if you hear a little ding, it's because I'm sharing this out with a bunch of different groups right now just to get everybody on board. So again, please feel free to share this with all your friends and family, your neighbors, even people you hate. Yeah, share it with people you hate, fuck them. But we're going to talk about UFC 270. We're going to talk about BKFC Jackson. We're going to talk about Island Fight 71 this weekend. I'll be ring announcing. Oops, I hit the wrong thing there. My bad. And we're going to talk about, like I said, BKFC Jackson. We're going to also talk about something. I'm going to open up with this because I just got this news just now, and it kind of irritated me. So I've been representing Marcus Brimage, former UFC bantamweight, who debuted with BKFC earlier this year. And he fought to a draw. So I was, wasn't happy about the result. He's my client, but he put on a good show. So we wanted to get him on the BKFC Knucklemania 2 card in Hollywood, Florida, which is literally 30 minutes from his house. He's got people that want to watch him fight. He's got people that would buy tickets. He would sell a good amount of tickets. We weren't given the opportunity the last time to sell any tickets. They never gave us any tickets in hand, and they didn't even give us a ticket code. So, but I spoke with David Feldman, and those issues are going to be addressed. So I'm happy about that. But I'm a little miffed today because I reached out to Nate Shook, the matchmaker for BKFC, and asked him about getting Marcus on the card. Chevy Bridges wants to fight him. He wants to fight Chevy. These are two guys that bring action, and they deserve a big stage like this. Let's go. Give the kid Chevy Bridges his big test against a UFC veteran, and give Marcus a chance to get that first victory inside the BKFC squared circle. I was told by the matchmaker that it probably wouldn't happen at Knucklemania, like insinuating that Marcus wasn't a big enough draw or something. That's what I took from the conversation. And today they announced that Melvin Gallard is fighting on Knucklemania 2. Melvin Gallard is taking on Uli Diaz at Knucklemania 2. Uli, who owns the fastest knockout in BKFC history at 3 seconds, was on a 5-fight winning streak prior to losing just recently in his last outing against Thiago Alves for a championship. No shame in losing to Thiago, but it's okay. So whatever. So they're going to give Uli a fight to get him back, and they give him Melvin Gallard. Now, Melvin Gallard hasn't won a fight since 2014. That is a streak of 14 fights in a row that he has participated in, and he hasn't been able to get his hand raised. How in the hell, and when I say this, no disrespect to Melvin, because I've always liked Melvin. He comes to fight. But how in the fuck can you tell me that a guy that's on a 14-fight losing streak, gets an opportunity on the biggest card of the year over a guy who just fought an incredible fight to a draw, and to another kid who's 1-0 at BKFC? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It really is under my skin. And I just wanted to say that because I don't believe, I hear people talking about the bookings at BKFC. I have no problems with the bookings at BKFC, and I haven't really had any until this one. I didn't even have a problem with them putting Brandon Lambert on a card with no verifiable fight experience, because at least that kid went out there and hustled and grinded and sold the fight. You know what I mean? He's one of the most talked about guys in BKFC. So, I had no beef with it. I thought it was a right thing to do. Fuck it. You only live once, give the kid an opportunity. But this booking of Melvin Gallard, I'm fucking just, it just says to me that they're totally trying to give Uli Diaz an easy fight and an easy win. They are stacking the deck in his favor to get him back on a win so they can promote him. He's popular in Miami. Uli is popular in Miami. So Uli's going to sell tickets, just like Francesco Ricci sells tickets. But how in the fuck do you give this Melvin Gallard a fight and say that that's a good fight to make, but putting Marcus Brimage, who just fought to a draw, and it took a couple of illegal shots during that fight, how is he not good enough? How is he not, bookable? I don't understand. And, I'm sure if Nate hears this or see this, he's going to, shit on me, and they're going to fucking shut me down, whatever, for giving me access. But it has to be said, because it's not right. It's not fair. There's guys like Tom Schoaf, who they use his face on all kinds of posters and everything else, and then Tom Schoaf can't get a fucking fight. Now, Tom Schoaf doesn't have a great BKFC record, but Tom Schoaf is one of the most exciting fighters in BKFC, and he brings it every single time. And he'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. And, he's got the look. He looks great. So, you know what I mean? It's just crap. So I just wanted to get that off my chest as we started tonight's show. And by the way, Marcus is going to be on Fight TV this weekend, January 29th, at the PFC, Pillow Fighting Championships. He's stepping out of this realm of combat sport of bare knuckle or MMA, and he's taking on, I don't even know who his opponent is because they haven't told me yet, but he knows. And he booked this all on his own, so I take no credit for this. But I saw a video today he shared on his page of his tryout. If you get a chance, go to the page of Marcus Brimage and look at his tryout video for PFC, Pillow Fighting Championship. I thought it was fucking outstanding, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that. I won't be able to watch it till after the fact because I'll be ring announcing for Island Fight 71. We've got a whole bunch of fights. I don't even have the fight card in front of me yet because this is an amateur card, so there's always some last-minute changes. I will try to get the card from Devin Adams, our matchmaker, and post that tomorrow. You saw that video, Forrest. It was crazy, right? So, and anybody else watching, feel free to jump in on the commentary. Bobo O'Bannon is going to join us at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And let's jump into UFC 270. So, UFC 270 took place this past weekend in Anaheim, California at the Honda Center. It was a double title fight night, as our co-main event was Brandon Moreno defending against Davidson, Figuerato, and the Francis Ngannou, the Predator, was taking on Cyril Gane. By the way, the memes out there, I went for breakfast this morning, and then they show the picture of Cyril Gane. That's pretty fucking funny. If you haven't seen that meme, that's hysterical. I'm sorry you missed it. Plus, we had Michael Pereira, an exciting fighter, always does crazy things inside the octagon. So we're going to jump in, Kay, right at the beginning, Kay Hansen and Jasmine Jazz Davicius. And I took Kay Hansen to win this fight, but she got outworked by Jazz Davicius and lost the decision 30-27, 29-28 times 2. She just didn't fight hard, and Jasmine did. We'll move from there. Sylvana Gomez Juarez versus Vanessa Demopolis. Vanessa Demopolis, the girl who said stripping made her a better practitioner of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She quit her job 8 weeks ago as a professional stripper to concentrate on making this fight inside the octagon. She jumped into Joe Rogan's arms after she got the win. She got the armbar in round 1, and she got dropped. She was about to lose, and she came back and she held on, showed that intestinal fortitude, and really put on a show. And then she jumped in Joe Rogan's arms at the end of the night. It was so fucking funny. That girl was happy to be inside the octagon, and I was happy to see her fight. I picked her to win because after she dropped down and did a split at the weigh-in show, I should say, not the official weigh-in, but the official weigh-in show. I said, this girl's got fucking gumption and balls. I said, we're going to have to fucking ride with her. And she did a great job. She's going to be a media darling. The whole stripper story is going to be an incredible thing. Everybody's going to want to talk to this girl. I'm going to try to reach out to her camp and see if we can get her on the show sometime here in the near future, especially since I have experience in the adult clubs. So it'll be a fun conversation. Next, my man, Steamroller, Matt Fribola, taking on Gennaro Valdez. What a fucking performance by Matt Fribola and by Gennaro Valdez as well. They went to action from the opening bell. They just both were there to fight. And Frivola was on fire. It was the last fight in his UFC contract, so he fought out his contract, and he's even looking to possibly test the free agent market. But he went out there. He dropped this Valdez kid 5 or 6 times, and this kid just kept getting up. He's a Mexican fighter, and I've always said the toughest guys to beat are Mexican fighters because they have the heart and will of warriors and champions. They don't quit. They don't stop. And you almost have to kill a Mexican fighter to beat a Mexican fighter. And Matt Frivola just never let off the gas. He kept grinding. He knocked the guy down. Guy got back up. It's like Dwayne would say, get knocked down 7 times, get up 8 times. And that's what this kid did. So hats off to Valdez for a stellar performance. He showed his toughness. He showed his grit. He showed his will to fight. And I hate when they say, somebody's tough, after they lose, because, that just means they took a beating. And while, yes, this kid is tough and he did take a beating, he's special. I just think he ran into the wrong steamroller that night, and he'll be back. And I guarantee you we're going to see some exciting things out of Valdez, Gennaro Valdez. Keep an eye out for that guy. Even in a loss, he put his name out there on the map. Tony Gravely versus Simon Oliveira. Unanimous decision win for Tony Gravely, 30-27, all across the card. He just did a great job out there. A lot of people weren't picking him. He was the underdog. I picked him to win. I had a lot of faith and confidence in Tony Gravely. he's a great fighter. He's got a lot of skills. He goes in there to work. And how do you not like, root for that guy? Hey, Justin Sims, man. Oh man, Justin, man, glad to have you on board, joining us tonight, man. I appreciate it, man. Much love to you, my friend. I love you to death. I'm glad you're watching. I'm just back from my winter hiatus, so hopefully we'll get some viewers tonight, and we'll start to ramp it up again. The only thing that sucks about taking time off is people forget about you. And that's okay. We'll just have to do a little extra work and get everybody back on board. Next weekend, or next Tuesday night, we'll be back live on the air with UFC fighter Nate Maness and Icon fighter. Also, he's kind of a free agent, if you will, but SD Dumas, after another stellar win at Icon last weekend, he'll be joining us on the show. And we're going to try to chase down Britton Hart as well before she steps into the cage to take on Christine Ferreira for the second time for the title at Knucklemania. Jack Della Madolina versus Pete Rodriguez. Holy shit. Jack Della, I took Rodriguez to win this fight. I fucked up. I don't know why I took Rodriguez when I go back and look at it, but I did. But Jack Della Madolina, what a fucking show, man. A nice TKO, fucking round one, 259 of the round. This guy came to fucking get a win and get in, get out, get the work done, and move on. The fight for me, that even though Brandon Moreno and Davidson Figuerato got fight of the night, this Rayoni Barcelos versus Victor Henry, what a fucking fight these two guys put on. And Henry came in as the biggest underdog on the card, and I guess that motivated him to show everybody what he's got. He was making his UFC debut on short notice, and when you get guys like that, a lot of times they lose, but he's a seasoned vet, he knows what to do. He knows how to fight. And the moment, I believe he had 20 plus fights in his career already. So it's not like he was a rookie stepping in, or a young fighter, 6-0 or 6-1 or something like that. This guy is a seasoned veteran, and he showed what that means inside the octagon to be a seasoned veteran and really put on a show. He won by unanimous decision, 30-27 on all the judges' scorecards. I had him winning 30-27. What a performance by him, and he knows his time clock is short, because he's a little up there in age. I believe he's 35, might be 34. Maybe Forrest can tell me while he's watching. But this guy is here to fight. Nate Maness versus Victor Henry would be a fight that I would love to see. I think Nate even mentioned something about that on his social media. And we'll talk to him about that next week on Cage Side with Christopher James, right here with me, So that was another great fight. Trevin Giles versus Michael Morales. Morales defeats Giles, TKO, punches. He just overwhelmed Giles and took home a win. I had Giles to win that one. I was wrong. Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Cody Stamen. Cody Stamen, by the way, weighed 159 on fight night. These guys are bantamweights. And he almost weighed in as, a welterweight. He was above the lightweight limit. So he was almost a welterweight. All the fight weights came out. A day in California. You have to weigh in on fight day as well, just to see how much you put on. Cyril Gahn, by the way, lost 2 pounds coming in. He weighed in at 247 on a fight night. He weighed in at 245. But Nurmagomedov made short work, 47 seconds into round number 1, the ninja choke. You knew it was coming. Anybody with the last name Nurmagomedov, you better watch the fuck out for it, because they're coming in, they're coming hard. And that was an awesome fight for Nurmagomedov. Michael Pereira versus Andre Fialo. I took Fialo to win this one. He was another underdog on the card. And I thought that he wasn't going to fall victim to the antics. But what we really saw from Fialo is he's very one-dimensional. He relies strictly on his boxing to get victories. Through maybe 1 or 2 leg kicks, he has no ground game to speak of. And Pereira was just too much for him. Pereira beat him all around the board, 29-28 times 3. And it could have been 30-27. I don't think Fialo really won a round, but, who am I? I'm not one of the judges. I'm just here. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion. Forrest, how old is, find out for me if you can, how old is Victor Henry? The guy who fought Rayoni Barcelos. That's what I wanted to know. What a fucking, but man. So now we move to the co-main event of the evening: Brandon Moreno versus Davidson Figuerato. A lot of people predicted this fight to be a finish. I knew this was going to be a 5-round war. Figueiredo got the nod 48-47, unanimous across the board by all 3 judges. I, for one, did not agree with that decision. I had it the other way, 48-47 for the champ coming in, which was Brandon Moreno. I've always been of the opinion that if you are going to unseat a champion and do it by going to a decision, you have to really dismantle him. You have to just beat him up for 5 rounds and not lose a round. To me, that's what it is. I don't think that Figueiredo won the fight. And I think the swing round for me was round 3, where he dropped Brandon at the end of the round. But Brandon, in my opinion, won that round. Matter of fact, let me pull up some numbers here, because I just got to see something here. I forgot to pull these numbers up. Fight metric. I got to see these numbers in this fight. So, because I need to know. So, total strikes landed were 105 of 259. So Brandon Moreno was busier, but significant strikes. Let's see what we got here. Significant strikes. Here we go. Significant strikes. So, according to the numbers here, Brandon Moreno had the more significant strikes in rounds 2 and 3, in round 4, and round 5. So we're talking significant strikes, scoring strikes, not just touching you. Strikes to the head, Brandon Moreno landed a total of 71, almost doubling the 40 landed by Davidson Figueiredo. I just think that he got jobbed, because Figueiredo had that knockdown, and I think that was the swing for some of the judges, because that was the last thing they saw, so they gave the round to Figueiredo. I didn't even look at the scorecards. If somebody wants to look those up, feel free. I'd like to see how the rounds were scored round by round. I know they're out there. They're on MMA Junkie, so you can pull them up if you would like. But I think Moreno, and I don't want to call it a robbery. It wasn't that, it wasn't that big of a distance of a fight. It was a very closely contested contest. And I felt Moreno did enough. And again, if you look at the total numbers, in round 3, so in round 3, let's look at round 3, because that's the round I think that swung the fight. Brandon Moreno landed 26 of 58 significant strikes thrown. Davidson Figueiredo landed 19 of 36 on the significant strikes thrown. Landed to the head, 20 of 47 for Moreno, 11 of 23 for Figueiredo. 2 of 7 on kicks versus 3 of 6 or body shots. I'm sorry. Kicks 4 of 4 for Moreno, 5 out of 7 for Figueiredo. From the distance, again, Moreno. So, I mean, in every single round, except for round 1, Moreno outstruck Figueiredo. And I just, Victor Henry is his name. He's 34. I thought he was 35. Thank you. I did say Victor Henry was his name. Oh, excuse me. Now, maybe they're going to do this fight for a 4th time. This will be the first time it happens where 2 guys go at it for a 4th time. I honestly don't know if I want to see it a 4th time in a row. The last 3 times they both fought, they faced each other. We had a draw the first time. Brandon Moreno won the second time. Figueiredo won the third time. So there's a score to be settled. I get it. Who's going to win the rubber match? But I don't want to see it again right away. As good of a fight as that was, I don't want to see it again right away. It's getting stale in that division where you don't have anybody else fighting. So, let's get a couple other flyweights in there. Let's give, somebody else a shot before Moreno gets his comeback. And I say that even though, that's where Figueiredo said he'd do it in Mexico. But here's the thing. And even though Moreno was a champion coming in, he hadn't defended yet. So he still hasn't defended the belt successfully. And, he lost the fight. Even though I don't agree with the decision, he lost. So I think he's got to take another fight against somebody else, and then they can book Figuerato again if Figuerato is the champion. The problem you have with that is Figuerato might have to take another fight as well, and Figueiredo could lose because, any given Sunday, any given Saturday night in the octagon, you can lose no matter how good you are. Everybody's eligible, except for Khabib and John Jones, who's never lost a fight. Now we move on to the main event. Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane. It was really a good fight. And let me pull that one up here while we're sitting here at the numbers because I want to see that as well, just for shits and giggles. Ngannou, all right, so Ngannou lost every round. Ngannou won round 3. Ngannou won round 5 with the striking numbers, but what set him apart was his wrestling that nobody expected, and that's where he won the fight. He fought with a blown MCL and a torn ACL, and there's so much drama behind this fight. There was already, a battle of war going on with Dana White and Francis Ngannou leading up to the fight. Dana White was in the ring to put the belt on Davidson for Figueiredo, but was mysteriously absent when it was time to put the belt on Ngannou. Even leading into this fight, first of all, there shouldn't have been an interim champion. Cyril Gane should not have been the interim champion. There was no need for an interim championship fight, but because Francis Ngannou is vocal and didn't want to play ball the UFC's way and fight on their schedule, Dana White said, fuck it, I'll just create another belt, which is completely the wrong reason to create a belt. Francis Ngannou wasn't unhealthy to fight. He just wasn't ready to fight. There's a difference. And in the last 3 years, he's fought once a year. So, they just, they're trying to hold him down, in my opinion. But Francis went out there and put on a show. The fact that he did it with a blown out knee makes it that much more impressive. That first takedown where he really just picked up Gane and slammed him, that was incredible. Francis went on Ariel Helwani's show yesterday and unearthed a lot of truths. He said he will sit out the whole year. He don't care. He said he doesn't think he's going to fight again for the UFC, not based under the current contract. I was told there was even an offer made of $7 million across a contract. I don't know how much that broke down to per fight, but he's not going to take it. He wants to box, and he wants to fight Tyson Fury. So Conor McGregor got to go fight Floyd, but Conor McGregor is the Irish white champion, and Dana White's a sucker for guys like him. And this just says to me again, I don't want to say that it's racially motivated, because I don't think it is. But why? Why mess with Ngannou? The guy's a good guy. He's not getting into trouble. People like him. He's got an amazing knockout power. Everybody's afraid of him. Cyril Gane made sure he ran the whole fight. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Dana White, didn't even do the press conference because he didn't want to talk about Francis, because he knew he was going to get all these questions. And, and who knows, maybe the powers that be at Endeavor, the parent company of the UFC, maybe they told Dana White not to do the press conference. That could have happened. And, Dana White would have to, follow orders, because while he is the president of the UFC, it's not as if before Endeavor jumped in. He's got people to answer to a lot more now than he did before. So maybe they told him not to because he was going to besmirch the champion, and it's not a good look. But it was a blatant snub, in my opinion, from Dana White, and because they've been feuding. There was even an email sent to Francis's manager that they were going to sue Francis because he spoke to Jake Paul's manager, which, who gives a shit? They didn't book anything. They were just talking about boxing. Francis can't talk about boxing? I don't get it. So there's definitely more to be written for this story. And, we're going to have to see how it all plays out. Now, speaking of heavyweights with the story, well, let me tell you something. Here's a little story about a man named Bobo. Headed out to Jackson. I got nothing else that rhymes with that, so we're just going to stop that song right there. But ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the show right now, he's one of my favorite human beings to talk to. He's fighting this weekend in Jackson, Mississippi, taking on Alan Belcher in the co-main event of BKFC Jackson. So let's bring him back in. He's sitting there ready to stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man himself, the Bible Belt Brawler, the one and only Bobo O'Bannon.
What's
up, baby
going
boy?
on? Oh man, loving life, sir. How about you?
Oh, I'm alive, so I'm loving life as well.
Come on.
So, I know you heard the end of that conversation there. I saw you sitting there in the green room, where we were talking about Francis Ngannou and Cyril Gane and the whole thing. Dana White didn't go into the octagon to put the belt on his champion. Dana White avoided the press conference, which he could have been ordered to. But based on everything we've seen, it seems more like it was a Dana White snub of Francis because he doesn't like that Francis is vocal and people are listening to Francis.
Right.
So give me your take on that. If you saw, did you see the fight?
I did not. I didn't, man. I live under a rock these days. All I do is work, and we like literally today we just got Wi-Fi, and so yeah. We've been waiting for them to bring in the stronger Wi-Fi on the black market around here, and they finally did
Nice.
that today. But
That's awesome.
But no, I did not get to see the fight. I have kind of been keeping up with the hype of it a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, and this and I guess I kind of understand what Ngannou's saying. You know, if he's bringing this much value to the table, but he's only getting this much, put in his pocket. What's going on with that? I guess I kind of understand it a lot.
Yep, he feels like he's been disrespected by the UFC, treated unfairly. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. Originally, they were talking about him fighting John Jones when John Jones would make his heavyweight debut. Both guys said that if they were going to book that fight, they both better get paid more, and I agreed 100% with them. Dana White didn't book that fight, but because Francis asked for more money, all of a sudden Dana White said, you know what, I'm just going to do an interim champion fight. So they put Cyril Gane and Derek Lewis inside the octagon in Houston. Cyril Gane won, which, they had a history. Those two guys used to train together. That was a good story. It would have been a better story and a better build-up to the fight, though, in my opinion, if Derek Lewis had won, because Derek Lewis is such a fan favorite. I would have loved to watch that fight, those two big heavyweights. Derek Lewis, the most knockouts in heavyweight history. Francis Ngannou, the most powerful guy in the UFC right now. It would have been so much fun. But our champion here at BKFC, or should I say your champion, I don't work for BKFC, but Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, heavyweight champion of the world, and Police Gazette diamond belt holder Arnold Adams did an interview post-fight and said he would love for Francis to come over and do bare knuckle. Somebody put up a meme saying that Francis said he would love to come to BKFC. The meme was bullshit. It was created by somebody in the BKFC media world, bare knuckle media world, put up this thing saying that he had this conversation with Brett Okamoto from ESPN, but he did it. But what would you say about Francis Ngannou coming over and challenging the current champion, Arnold Adams, in a bare knuckle fight?
I'm the gatekeeper. I'm the one that these UFC guys are having to come in through so far. Not very successful, but they're not. But I'm the gatekeeper here.
Well, you are the gatekeeper, and I'll give you that. But the current UFC champion is coming in. If he were to come in, let's say he sits out a whole year, doesn't fight, which makes him a free agent, because as long as you don't fight this year, he's got the UFC has the whole year to book him, because his contract officially ended, but because he retained the title, the championship clause says one defense of the belt or 3 fights during this next calendar year. Francis has been used to only fighting once a year. So let's just say they strip him. He leaves the UFC. He comes to BKFC. Now, and this is not a slight on you, but if they're bringing in the last UFC champion who's in his prime, they're going to book him against Arnold Adams or whoever has got the belt. So take your name out of the equation. What would you think of that coming over? Just the enormity of the situation, because, basically if they stripped him, he'd be coming over here still the current heavyweight champion, because just because they took the belt can't take away the accomplishment. You know what I mean? Until they, they book, two other guys to fight for the belt. But what do you think that would do for BKFC, and in particular your division, the heavyweight division?
Man, that'd be pretty big, bringing over a name like that, someone with immediate recognition and notoriety, such as Ngannou. That would be that would be pretty big. That would put a lot of I guess it'd make things more valid for us a little bit,
Yeah,
because then you'd have, him as the champion if he won the fight, or him at least competing with the champion, and then whoever beats him will for sure be looked at as somebody, worth fearing as a champion. Because it's no secret Ngannou does possess a bunch of power and striking ability, and I'd honestly, I'd like to see what he could do once you take out the takedowns and the kicks and
yeah,
everything. I'd like to see what he could do with just the hands. And like I said, for one of us to beat him or anyone else to beat him, it would solidify us as as a champion.
yeah, no doubt about it. I would love to see him come over and see exactly what you said. See what he could do without having to worry about kicks and without having to worry about defending about takedowns, and being able to dirty box and work in the clinch, and being able to pull somebody's head down and just fucking because he's so fucking strong, um,
Yes.
you know, and it's crazy, that the conversations are being had about it. But I can't get in trouble for saying it because I don't work for any of these people. So I would love to see him come over and fight Arnold Adams, or you or anybody in the heavyweight division. It would be a big get for BKFC, and he's going to bring eyes to the promotion, and he's going to add a level of credibility to this. Every time they sign uh, a former UFC fighter, I think it adds a level of credibility to the promotion that some of these guys come over. For instance, Mike Perry, who's a friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. I watched him make his. I announced him before he ever got to the UFC. Watched him go to the UFC, make a name for himself, become a star. Um, Sign with BKFC, and then you got guys out there shitting. Oh, look at the BKFC signing this has-been. Mike Perry is not a has-been. Mike Perry is still in
No.
his prime. He's like 30 years old. He just turned 30 or 31. He just had a great fight at Triller, took out a boxer, a legitimate boxer,
Right.
and beat him at his own game. Mike, and with BKFC, Mike don't have to worry about takedowns or grappling or kicking. So again, Mike becomes a super dangerous fighter. Him and Julian Lane are going to be fighting at Knucklemania in the main event. Um, what's your thought just overall when they bring in guys like that? Because there's a lot of people shitting on, well, fuck it, he's this, he's that, he's bad for the business. He's not bad for the business. He brings eyes to the business. I mean, and
Yeah.
and he's still a legitimately young, talented fighter with years in front of him. So but people are hating on him. Our friend Brandon Lambert's hating on him big time. But Brandon
Look,
hates on
hold on.
everybody that comes in.
Let me cut you right there. That sounds like a good point to start where I'm gonna go with this.
All
Uh,
right, boss.
Eyes are good attention, bad attention. There's no such thing as bad attention. It's all attention. You got Brandon Lambert. Yes, Brandon Lambert says all of the things of what Brandon Lambert says, but he's got constant attention. He constantly brings eyes in, and
Yep.
that's a good thing in my opinion. Like I said, no publicity is bad publicity. And Brandon definitely keeps it coming in. Definitely keeps things stirred up. Um, Quite obviously, Julian Lane and Perry, what happened with at the event there, yeah, that's going to keep attention. That's going to keep things riled up and stirred up.
Do you
I
think
mean,
that altercation was pre-planned? I know it wasn't by Mike, but there are rumors going around that saying Julian had it pre-planned and that BKFC knew it was going to happen. And if you go look at the video, it looks like Julian Lane stuck his mouthpiece in before he started the fight with Mike Perry.
I don't know. I really
He had
don't
his little
know.
Gucci bag on, reached into the Gucci bag and got some, I don't know if he was putting, chiclets in his mouth or a mouthpiece, but
Yeah.
I'll have to find that video and show you, Bobo. I'll send it to you because it really looked like he just put his mouthpiece in. Um, that's just to me, premeditated, and I just think, I don't know, man, you
I,
never know. You never know,
I,
like, what's set up and what's not set up, but
let-
that felt set up to me. And I
I'll
was there.
answer. I'll answer your question with a question.
Uh-oh.
Do do you think Lorenzo Hunt was meant to be hit by Hector Lombard after Hector's fight?
No.
You don't think that was meant to happen?
No, no.
Well, I mean, I
I
truthfully don't have a clue.
I think that Lorenzo, they wanted to bring Lorenzo into the ring to create the buzz for a fight.
Hmm.
100%. I mean, BKFC allowed him to go in the ring. I don't think they expected him to get hit.
Gotcha.
But he took the shots, with ease. I mean, and then he, went out there and won the belt. Although we're
Right.
not sure which weight class he actually won because there was some confusion about that all on fight night. That's a whole other topic for a whole other show. But
Right.
obviously, um, it was like they brought in after Joey Beltran won his last fight before he lost to Arnold Adams. I believe they brought Alex Nicholson and some other heavyweight in, to stir the pot a little bit. They let him in that. They let him in the ring. They can't get in the ring without going through BKFC unless you're a crazy fan. And if you're a crazy fan, you get your ass kicked. You get tackled by the
Right.
cops. So that didn't happen. So obviously BKFC was cool with those guys going in the ring. But I understand the marketing behind it, but I also feel it's a slap in the face to the guy who just won a fight. Let him have his moment.
I agree with that. I
You know.
agree with that.
So, where'd Bobo go? Bobo's right here. You can't see Bobo? I see Bobo. Forrest, maybe you got to refresh your screen. Me and Bobo are right here.
Man.
We looking at each other. We talking to each other. We're doing this.
Ah. Yes.
So, all right. So, Bobo, now that we've got all that stuff out of the way, you are taking on, as you said, you are the gatekeeper of BKFC's heavyweight division, and you are taking on another former UFC star this weekend in Alan Belcher. So, tell us how that fight came into fruition, and give us your thoughts on fighting a guy like Alan Belcher.
Well, the way it come about, man, is I was given two other names, and one person was never given a final solid answer or whatever, and
Who were the
so
who were the two other names?
do what now?
Who were the two other names?
Um, oh, gone. You had to ask me. Well,
Of course, I had to ask you.
the the guy that fought Steve Aurelius, what was his name? The
I don't
Hispanic
remember,
guy,
man.
uh,
I don't remember.
Juan
And who's the
Torres.
okay? And
Well,
who's the other one?
and the other one was um, LeVar Johnson,
Okay, that's another decent name.
and and I don't know exactly what happened. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know exactly what happened. I just know that neither fight came through. Now I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not going to sit here and say that LeVar said no to fighting me, because I don't know what happened. I know that ultimately a couple weeks later I was given Alan Belcher's name, and
Yep, that's a big
so I was
name.
like, okay, let's do it.
So, what's your thoughts on finding a guy with the credentials of an Alan Belcher who moved up into the heavyweight division? He had his debut a little while back. Then he's gone on and done some boxing matches. The world where you come from, taking on some boxers. And in the boxing world, you don't always have you know solid even matchups.
Right.
You're trying to build a fighter. Your fighter's going to get some easy matchups along the way. I'm sure you've had some fights where they were trying to build you, and you got some guys that you absolutely were supposed to beat. And I believe, if I'm correct, you were brought in to be the B side of somebody else's A side as they were trying to elevate some guy, get him wins. So you understand how boxing works 100% because
Yes.
you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, fucking bam.
Yes.
So Belcher's fought a couple of guys that got him some ring time, and that's what the buildup of boxing is. getting time in the ring and working on your skills, and notching wins along the way. So he's fought a couple of boxing matches. He's been successful, and he's in incredible shape, man. The scary shape, and naturally scary shape. He's been really he reinvented himself. I love
Yeah.
Alan Belcher. I love you. I love Alan. You guys are good men that do things the right way, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for both of you. Your thoughts on fighting Alan Belcher? The credibility he brings to your name. Just being in the ring with him. Forget winning or losing. Just being in the ring with an Alan Belcher, what that does for Bobo.
Oh man, yeah, it's awesome. I felt like it started in I think 2009, whenever Belcher was making his comeback to the UFC after his retinal surgery. Um, he had I went over there to his gym and sparred with him. Matter of fact, I'll tell you exactly when it was. Wes Shivers was getting ready to go to the
Wes
Ultimate Fighter
Shivers.
house.
Did you just say Wes Shivers?
I did. I did. Yes, sir. Wes Shivers was getting ready to go into the Ultimate Fighter house, and I went over to D'Iberville to spar with him, and I ended up sparring with Alan Belcher in the process while I was over there. And yeah, I mean, it was just, I felt like that was pretty cool, getting to spar with Wes Shivers and, Alan Belcher and then now and get to fight Allen, yeah, I feel like it's all, it's all bigger than life, man. It's all way bigger than me. I'm just
I can't believe we had a Wes Shivers moment on my show. We might be the only MMA or bare knuckle or combat sports broadcast podcast, whatever you want to call this thing we call a show, that mentioned Wes Shivers in the last 5-10 years. That's fucking crazy, man. I'm gonna have to clip that video out just to talk about Wes Shivers. Just forget all the rest of our interview. It's Wes Shivers. And you were down in D'Iberville where Chase Sherman is from. So how'd the sparring go with Alan Belcher?
Man, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. We worked for a few rounds. Hey,
Okay.
fun fact, did you know that Wes Shivers is an officer now?
Yeah, I did.
Could you imagine getting pulled over by that guy?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a mouthy guy. I don't give a fuck how big the cop is. I'm stupid. So I'm
Yeah, no.
no,
I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't want to get pulled over by that guy. Bobo, if you were a
No.
cop, I mean, even though you got a friendly demeanor, you're a big, scary kind of human being, and you come walking at me with a badge and a baton and a gun, and I'm 5'8", fucking, whatever. I'd be like, the fuck?
Yeah,
What did I do, officer?
yeah.
You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh,
Exactly.
you'd have to bend down like half your body size just to get to my car window. That would scare me because you would probably
It,
block out the sun.
that would be Wes. That would definitely be all 6'7" of him.
He's a big some bitch.
Yes, sir. That Joker is a monster.
Yeah. All right. So you sparred. Did you get the better of him in that sparring, or did he get the better of you? Were you brought in there to take a beating from him, or were you allowed to go?
I was allowed to go. They give me the go ahead. They give me the green light on him. Because he was heading into the house, the
Yeah.
Ultimate Fighter house, and that's whenever I
Who
think that
was
was the
Shivers?
West Shivers was.
No,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
talking. I'm talking about you and Belcher.
Oh, yeah. We sparred for about 2 rounds, 3 rounds, I think.
Were you allowed to go on him, or did they kind of tell you to take, lay back and let him see what he's got? What was that all about?
We kind of we kind of went tit for tat a little bit.
All right. And he was smaller then.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. He was definitely smaller then. He didn't have
But
his the
he wasn't
muscle
fighting
mass and all
heavyweight.
that he had.
No, and he
No,
wasn't
no.
fighting heavyweight then. You were still legit heavyweight then. So I mean, um,
Yeah,
so
that's whenever he was still in the UFC. He was still fighting at 185, which I
yeah,
think he was cutting from like 205.
right. Um, so how excited are you to fight Alan Belcher?
Oh man, it's gonna be a blast. Yeah, it's gonna be a heck of a good fight. No doubt about that. I think it's gonna be awesome for either one of us to win. I mean, just being honest about it. You know how I am. I ain't no
I know how
cocky
you are.
guy, but I feel like for either one of us to get this victory, will be kind of propelling for the other. So
Yeah, there's no bad blood. There's no pre-fight hype. It's just two professionals going in to do some work. Bringing the lunch pail with them and going in there and seeing who's gonna come out on the other side, which I like. It, it's I can't. When it comes to you, Bobo, I can't see you getting into a war of words with anybody, unless they just come out and really, really come at you hard, disrespect to you, your family, and something. And even then, it would still be a stretch to see Bobo get in that pissed off mode and being like, "Yeah, I'm going to take this motherfucker. I'm going to fuck him up, and I'm going to beat his ass. I'm going to break him." I just can't see that coming out of you. I will tell you this: I would love to see that side of Bobo, in build up of a fight if it's deemed necessary. Like if somebody came out and disrespected you, stand up and
oh
say something.
yeah,
But
oh
but
yeah,
you're not mean. You don't. I don't know if you got shit talk in you, B.
I do, and it's funny because we were talking about this at work the other day, and I do, and man, I'm telling you, whenever I get fired up, when somebody hits that nerve, I come online. I come all the way online, and the thing with me, man, I was talking to. We've got a pastor that works out there at the mill with us. Super, super awesome man of God, and we were talking today, and I was like, I'm that kind of person where I'm just simple, laid back, easy going, just as calm as you ever want to see until I'm not. And it's either I'm one of two extremes. One is if you bring me in a slice of cake, your wife made a pie. You bring me in a slice of the pie and give me a slice of pie. Wow, that's awesome. Me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back an entire cake. I'm going to find out what your favorite kind of cake is and get my wife to bake you an entire cake. Well, on the other side of that is if you hit me with a 2 pound hammer, well, you better believe I'm going to bring back the 15 pound hammer to hit you with. And so whatever you do to me, good or bad, I'm gonna try to triple it, quadruple it up, and bring it back to you.
All right. So
And
if I go to the store up in Mississippi where you live, and I go to Walmart and I buy a Mercedes Benz SUV that my grandson could drive in, and I give it to you, does that mean next week I'll have a full size Mercedes in my driveway?
hey, I might be in prison, but you'll have it in your driveway.
That's all I care about, Bo. That's what I fucking want to know,
Come
man.
on,
I'm like,
come
well,
on.
what can I get him to buy me? All right, so we're going with the Mercedes truck,
Right, right. Yeah, that's just the way I am. And we was talking about that at work today. And so if the whole trash talking thing ever come about, and I ever felt like somebody was trying to offend me, man, I'm so what, and whatever, no big deal. Now
Well,
they start bringing my family into it, then I'll kill them, and that's the way that story ends.
yeah, because I like if somebody talks about your fighting ability, or maybe your lack thereof in their mind of fighting ability, um, I don't think you give a shit about that, dude, because the in the ring is where the talking gets done for you, as far as that goes. I think they would have to attack Britain or your children, or something like that, or you know, make fun of you for being a Bible thumper, and they'd have to go over the edge of good. I'm sure people fuck with you for being as godly as you are. It's part of the world. Some people don't understand
Right.
it. I'm not as godly as you are, but I respect that you are. You know what I mean? So it
Yes,
is
sir.
what it is. But you know, family and religion are two things you should never discuss leading into a fight. And politics. Because some
Yeah.
people are way on the left, some people are way on the right, some people want masks, some people don't. I don't care if you want to wear a mask. Me, I don't care if you want to wear a mask. I don't care if you don't want to wear a mask. I don't care if you're vaccinated. I don't care if you're fucking unvaccinated. All I care about is that you just do what you believe is best for you and your family. and
Right.
that's it. And I'm going to do the same for mine. And don't hate on me for my choices. I don't hate on you for yours. So,
Exactly.
but people get into wars over this shit. Fucking
Yes, sir.
crazy. And I can't see you. I'm sitting there trying to imagine what somebody would have to say to you to get you to unleash verbally on them. And there's unless it's about Britain or the kids, I just don't see it.
Yeah, and that's what it would take, and two, man, words are words. Somebody says something, no big deal. Now there again, you can cross the line with words as well. Once you start being disrespectful towards my wife or my kids, then I'm coming online, and not to mention that, but the fight will not be enjoyable. Um, I mean, I don't mind getting a point or two deducted here and there.
I like that. I like that. Hey, it's a point or two. I've always told MMA fighters that, or if you're getting your ass kicked in a fucking fight, and you need to fucking regroup, throw the nut shot. Fucking,
Yeah.
you'll get one, and you won't get penalized for it. They'll tell you not to do it again, but that might give you a chance to fucking regroup. It's a dirty tactic, and I'm just kidding. Don't anybody go out there and just nut shot on purpose. That's fucked up. If you want to do
Yeah.
something illegal, punch him in the back of the head, or stay away from the cojones. You know what I'm saying? We all got them. Fuck, we all know how much that hurts. Don't do that. Bad.
Right.
Bad.
Very correct. Yes, sir.
But I'll also say it happens. It happens. There's some guys that throw the nut shot on purpose to get themselves out of trouble.
Yeah.
This fight with you and Belcher, does it go the distance?
No, not at all.
No.
No.
And what round do you see yourself winning in? I'm just asking honest. I can't believe you're going. I've known you for a while now, Bobo, and I believe that you walk into every fight believing you're going to win. So where do you think it's going to end? If it goes the way it's in your head, when does Bobo win the fight? What round?
It doesn't go past 3.
Okay, I respect that.
30 seconds into the second round.
30 seconds into the second round. All right, Forrest, you heard that. 30 seconds into the second round, Bobo said that if it goes the way he's planning it, then it's going to be 30 seconds into round number 2.
Correct.
So we won't get to the third round. One of the viewers, Forrest Daniels, who I know you know who he is. He follows you and he shows the love. He's a good dude.
Yep.
He wants to know. He said Alan Belcher has the world's worst Johnny Cash tattoo, but he hits like a Mack truck. And he wants to discuss Belcher's tattoo. Have you seen Belcher's tattoo up close? And do you feel comfortable discussing it, or is that over the line for you in disrespecting? Because if you don't want to talk about it, I'm never ever ever going to ask you to, because I respect you too much.
Yes, sir. I have seen Belcher's tattoo. All I'm willing to say about it is that for a long time, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know who it was. I had to have someone tell me who or what it was. And then I had to, I guess due to my lack of knowledge, I had to resort to Google. And, yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's the Forrest Gump close right there. It fucking handles everything.
Right.
So, training for this fight, have you been doing anything differently? I know you do a very unique training style where you do your training through your coach from overseas, and he does it video training. You never actually get to hang out with your coach and throw hands and throw mitts. It's all done via video, and whoever is willing to stand out there and work with you.
Let's look at this real quick. We are under the porch at the house, and this right here
is your gym.
Water bag, heavy bag, and over here is my custom little footwork chart that I had that I painted up. Got to come with my color.
Over there?
Sorry?
Do you have a speed bag over there?
They're right here. I've got the stand. I got the bag in there. Yes, sir. I keep it all taken apart and all that. But yes, I got my speed bag. I got my sway right here, sway ball here. In the middle.
How long does it take to set up the speed bag to go to work?
Sir?
How long does it take to set up the speed bag to punch on it?
Oh, probably about, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes once I get it all right there. Right
Okay.
now, it's gonna take probably 30 minutes with all the garbage that's stowed right there,
All
right
right.
there
So
beneath of it.
next time you come on my show, we're gonna have Bobo hit the speed bag on the show just for fun. I'd like to see your speed bag technique.
We can definitely do that.
I
Yes, sir.
definitely would love this. I was hoping it was set up now. I was like, man, we're gonna get some Bobo speed bag because it's one of my favorite things to watch a boxer do is to hit the speed bag, just lay into it, and the technique. It's an art form. It really is. You have to really understand what it's all about. I've tried it. I don't know how many times. It's not my forte. That's why I have a microphone. I mean, so but I understand the gist of it and the basics of it and the premise behind it. I can't translate it to my hand. It wasn't my gift from God to be the guy that hit a speed bag like nobody's business. That's why I'm not a fighter. I got
Right.
the attitude to be a fighter because I believe I can kick anybody's ass. Like I walk through the grocery store and I'm sizing everybody up. I don't give a fuck who you are. You could be 75 years old or 35 years old. I'm looking at you when I'm walking by in my cart with my toilet paper and my paper towels, and I'm going, I can fuck that dude up.
Right, right. That sounds like my old trainer in Mobile, my original boxing trainer. Used to say, "Blind, crippled, crazy, 18 to 80. They all had a spot to lay down."
I love it. Well,
Yes.
I for one am excited to see this fight for you. I think it's cool that you're getting to fight Belcher, and I think it's just as cool that Belcher's getting to fight you. I know a lot of people are, um, leaning on Belcher, thinking that he's going to win this fight. Um, I am not going to make a prediction on this fight, but I do want to say that I think this fight is going to surprise a lot of people. And I think for me, in my opinion, this is the most important fight in the career of Bobo Bannon up to date. This is the biggest name you fought. And this fight right here could put you in line. Biggest name you fought at BKFC. Nobody else is bigger than
Yeah.
the name than his. Um, and I think this fight puts you in contention if you win and keeps you as a gatekeeper if you don't.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely. Most definitely. I completely agree with that assessment there.
Yeah.
Uh, and,
So,
and I would like to go on the record and say that somewhere between him and Mike Kyle, either him or Mike Kyle, Belcher or Mike Kyle would be the biggest name I fought. Whichever one.
I think Belcher's a bigger name than Mike Kyle.
I I feel the same. Belcher was more front and center, mainstream in the UFC,
Yep.
and definitely had more eyes on him. I feel like.
I think, and that's no disrespect to Mike. I mean, that's the way it went.
Oh yeah.
There's guys at BKFC, that, great fighters, but they don't get the look, they don't get the pop, for whatever reason, and they're undefeated. And then there's guys like Melvin Gallard, who's lost 14 fights in a row, and he's getting a fight on Knucklemania. How does that even make sense? It just doesn't. But my guy, Marcus Brimage, can't get a fight there because they don't think he fits like, come on. Marcus fought a draw. It was a good fight. There's another guy out there who wants to fight Marcus, and Marcus wants to fight him. They want to go at it. And they wanted to do it in Knucklemania, Marcus's hometown, where he could sell tickets and put asses in the seats. But instead, they booked Uli Diaz, who's coming off a loss, not coming off a draw, coming off a loss in a title fight, and they booked him against the guy that's lost 14 fights in a row. That's boxing matchmaking right there.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Yeah.
shitting on Melvin. I love Melvin. He's always been a true warrior in the sport. When it's time in the UFC and everything, he comes to fight, but he just doesn't anymore. He comes to fight, and here he's top notch. But when it comes down, he's not delivering, and that's just Father Time caught up with him, I think. But I can't understand the booking of a fight like there were guys coming off 14 losses in a row, and he's still getting booked on the biggest card of the year. I don't like it. I think it's bullshit. And, if anybody from BKFC sees this, whether it's Dave Feldman or Nate Shook, I said what I said. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it doesn't make sense to me, and so I just spoke on it. You guys announced it today. I went on live today, so doesn't mean I don't love both of you. I understand you have reasons for doing things. It's business, but love you both. Just don't agree with your decision on this one, how you book this guy and not this guy. So I said what I said. I can't take it back. It's out there. It's on video. It's me.
Right.
Not trying to get myself alienated, but sometimes you just got to speak up on some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, words are like a fart too. Once it's out there, you can't bring it back.
Boy, man, if I could bring back a couple of farts, man.
Whew. Yeah, I'd save some relationships off that, some friendships off that one. I'm telling you now, I've ruined friendships over some chili farts. I mean, it's been flat short bad stuff in my life.
That might be the best comment ever on my show.
Well, you're welcome, by the way.
Oh no, thank you. Well, listen, my friend. As always, it's a pleasure chatting with you. I'm glad you took the time. For you guys out there, I literally set this interview up an hour before Bobo came on because I knew I was doing a show today. I announced it on Saturday. I hadn't been up and running in a while. Like I said, I took some time off for the holidays, and I had back surgery. Had to take care of personal life before I could take care of this part because this is the fun stuff. So I reached out to a couple of people, and I got Bobo, and I knew Bobo wasn't busy, but Bobo, come on and chat because me and Bobo love to talk to each other. So I'm really glad that you came on tonight, and for all 8 people that watched, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to build that back up.
There might have been more than 8. I don't know, man. I'm just making up a number. It might have been 9. But these I do get a good viewership afterwards because because I didn't promote this at all. Obviously, I didn't promote you at all because we set this up an hour and a half ago. So
right, we didn't save ourselves any time there.
Yeah, but it's all right, man. It doesn't matter. I don't need to promote Bobo. Bobo promotes just by being here. So I'm happy to have you on board. I hope the wife and the kids are doing well. You look like you're happier than a pig in a pile of shit. So that means that means to me the wife and the kids are doing okay. You're doing okay. You got a big fight this weekend. Boys and girls, this is Bobo O'Bannon. He's taking on Alan Belcher this Saturday night in Jackson, Mississippi for BKFC Jackson. They are the co-main event. The main event is Alvin Britto and Caleb Harris fighting for the inaugural welterweight championship, 165 and up. Hold on, Bobo. I'm going to get to you because that's what it's called. They're calling it the welterweight title.
Alvin Leon Britto.
What did I say?
You didn't say Leon. Alvin Leon Britto. I seen the deal.
It's Alvin Britto. It's Alvin Leon Britto. It's Alvin El Bandito Britto. I know all the names, but we're just trying to condense a little bit here, man. But thanks for thanks for the critique there, asshole. No,
you know me.
You got and since we did bring up the main event, they fought once before. Alvin won the fight. It was contested, it was a close decision. I believe it happened in Oxford, Mississippi. And I think I was there. I think I was the only media person there because it was right during the COVID beginning and stuff, and nobody knew. And they went to Oxford and did a show. What's your thoughts on the main event?
I like it, man. I like the both of them. I think the both of them in their fighting style, they make for an exciting fight. And I'm looking forward to watching it. To be honest with you, I gotta hurry up and get backstage and get my stitches or whatever, and dress out and get back out there and watch the fight.
Maybe they can just stitch you up ringside if you're, because and it's funny when Bobo says he's gonna get stitched up. Bobo gets stitched up in every fight, win or lose. Fucking Bobo sometimes gets beat up, even in a win.
Yeah. I mean,
and Bobo likes it.
Yeah, I bleed for entertainment. I mean, for entertainment purposes. Nobody came to the fights thinking, you know what? I really hope nobody gets stitches tonight. I really hope there's no blood tonight. No, y'all want to see the gore and gruesomeness of it. Oh man, that guy looks like he's hurting and he's still throwing punches. That's what people like to see.
That's why we watch NASCAR.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody wants to see the wreck.
Yeah, nobody wants to admit it publicly, but that's the truth, man. We want to see the chaos. We want to see the wreck. We want to see the blood, the guts, the goriness. In BKFC, it's the same thing. We want to see people get cut up and beat up. I mean, when Jason Knight and Artem Lobov beat the snot out of each other, man, those were two of the most gruesome faces after a fight. But in like
Yes.
3 or 4 days, they looked almost back to normal because, again, superficial,
Right.
So it's crazy. I like to watch it. I'm not going to lie. I want to be there. I want to see all that stuff. I won't be at your fight because I'll be ring announcing for Island fights. So I'm gonna have. It's funny, on Saturday night I'm gonna have live fights in front of me that I'm ring announcing. My phone I'm going to have on BKFC. Actually, no, on my laptop I'm going to have BKFC on, and on my phone I'm going to have WWE Royal Rumble on. It's because it's all going on Saturday night. Like the UFC the WWE moved all their pay-per-views now. It looks like they're going to do them on Saturdays instead of Sundays. I love that they did shit on Sundays, especially when football season was over, because I love WWE. So it's something to look forward to once a month on a Sunday night. It's fun.
Right.
Now apparently Saturday night is their fucking jam, so now it's going to fuck up a lot of my watching that and watching a UFC event or a BKFC event, or whatever other events I choose to watch on Saturday. So I'm a little bummed at them, but whatever, man. I'll figure it all out, or maybe I'll just watch WWE after the fights are over. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to watch all three and enjoy it all. Too much going on.
Right. Either you'll figure it out, or we can all send emails in all caps. Let the man know how we don't appreciate his changing the schedule there.
Yeah, he don't give a shit.
No, not even a little bit.
Even in all caps. I laugh when people send me stuff in all caps. I'm like, really? Is this you're yelling at me? Like,
Yeah.
first of all, I just laugh that it's people like go, well, that means you're yelling at me. Duh. No, if I'm yelling at you, I'm on the phone in your face. I'm yelling at you. Just because I type, the typing with bold letters for me is just to catch your attention. Doesn't mean I'm yelling.
Right.
Like I could send you, a thing, Bobo, congratulations on becoming the new heavyweight champion of the world. And I wrote congratulations in caps. I'm not yelling at you. I'm getting your attention so you know how I feel about you.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
and if I was in your face, I'd be like, congratulations. So I might, all right, maybe it is yelling, I guess. I don't fucking know, man.
Around here, I used to play a lot of tournament slow pitch softball, and
Softball.
I love it, man. I love it. But we got a guy who throws a lot of tournaments named Vaughn Kelly, and when Mr. Vaughn sends you a message on Facebook or an email or whatever, it's in all caps. Only because Vaughn just about can't hardly see, and he's got to have it in all caps to be able to tell what the heck he's typing.
Well, there you go. So he's not yelling.
Yes,
He's just
sir.
typing. He's just typing. See, so it's not
That's
just
right.
yelling. Well, listen, brother. Anybody want to shout out before you go? Sponsors, friends, family, coaches, all that good stuff.
Man, I got a big list somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is. I do want to give a special shout out to a sponsor of mine though, Aaron Gates and Duke Bohannon. They with Wicked Fabrications. I was out of work here months ago. Had the wife. My boy brought COVID home from school. My wife ended up catching COVID, and work won't let me come in with someone in my household having COVID. So my sponsor let me come and work with them on the side, while I was out of work, and where we can make some money and keep feeding these fat jokers around here. So I want to give a special shout out to them and thank you to them. And man, like I say, I apologize. I've got a list somewhere. My memory is terrible. I've been hitting the head just a little bit too much. Oh, I do want to give another big, huge, special shout out and thank you to New Breed and excuse me, New Breed and Mr. Jesse Howard. They're gonna walk out with me at the fights,
You're
and
going to sing your music live?
they are gonna sing their music live. Yes,
You got
sir.
that
Welcome
approved?
to my house. Yes, sir.
Okay. That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
So when
So
Bobo walks out on Saturday night, he'll have a live walkout song. The musicians will be out, New Breed will be out there on the mics, on the stick, representing.
Yes, sir. Newbury, Jesse Howard. Yes, sir. They're going to be there, singing, and oh man, I'm super excited. Look, let me tell you something that's a little bit crazier to me in my mind. The way my mind works, I'm just some big old dumb redneck from down south somewhere in the woods. These guys are fans of mine, and these guys are excited about being able to come out and sing for me. On my, I was like, what? No, you'll get out of here for real. Like
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm beside myself excited that they're gonna do this, and they're excited that they get to do this for me. I was like, wow, it's crazy. But yeah, man, I'm super excited about this.
Bobo, that is absolutely awesome. That's
Yes,
cool
sir.
that both parties involved are excited about the opportunity to work with each other, man. That's great, man. Congratulations on that. Oh wait, hold on.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations! I just shouted
All
it.
caps,
That was all
all
caps.
caps. There you go. All caps with an exclamation point on both ends.
Amen. Well, listen, brother, nothing but the best blessings to you and your family, win, lose, or draw. You know, you always have a supporter here with KHR Christopher James because, you know, you're just a good human being. And I love you to death. My family loves you. And you know, we appreciate you just for being you, you know, the big, crazy, skipping redneck Bobo O'Bannon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And we love you too, Mr. Christopher James.
Yep.
You have a blessed one.
I saw somebody the other day. They put up their fight picks for this card or for Knuckle Mania. I don't remember, but they used little Bobo, the skipping Bobo that you know from when you were dead. They made like a bunch of them, and they picked the winners. They said the winners are the ones with the dancing Bobo on them. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
I love it. That's awesome,
The
man.
memes that came out from that fucking moment, dude, were so fucking awesome, man. I'm so glad. I love moments like that that are just funny and become organic and get a little viral behind them, you know, because that if anybody deserves to go viral, it's Bobo O'Bannon. Bobo's a
I,
trip, y'all. If you don't know, follow his shit. If you're not following already, just keep following because sometimes he comes up with some fucking knee jerkers, knee slappers. You know what I'm saying?
come on. Yes,
Come on.
I am a natural born idiot. I will throw that out there. So,
So you're like the southern version of Peter Griffin.
a little something like that. We'll just call it something like that. Yes, sir.
Well, listen, D. Again, thanks for taking the time on short notice to join us tonight, man. Always a pleasure to have you on. You're always a welcome guest here. Uh, Thank you to your wife for letting you hang out here and join us tonight because you know you got to talk to mom before you do stuff. But we appreciate
Yes.
you, man. God bless, and we will talk again soon, man. And we'll I'm going to try to watch your fights while I'm watching my island fights, you know. And if not, I'll just go watch them the next day. But I'll get the results ahead. You know, I'll know the results, but you
Definitely.
know, I'll see it. So listen, work hard, be safe, continue to be Bobo, and never change for anybody, man. Just be you, brother.
That's right. That's all I can do, brother.
All right, man. We'll talk again soon, man. Safe travels to Jackson.
Thank you, sir. You have a blessed one. Be careful out there.
Thank you, brother. God bless, man. We'll talk soon.
God bless. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye. Boys and girls, that was Bobo Bandit Man. Always a fun guy to talk to. There's some moron bullshit fucking YouTube comment from somebody. I'll have to go delete that later. Just some fucking robot something. I don't even know what the fuck. I hate when that shit happens, man. But anyway, thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. We talked a little bit about UFC 270. I was pissed off that Melvin Gallard is getting a fight with 14 losses in a row on the biggest card of the year over Marcus Brimage. That irritates me. Marcus should be getting a fight on that card. It's hometown. He can sell tickets. So, you know, whatever. Anyway, appreciate you guys for supporting the show. Next week we'll have a UFC bantamweight Nate Maness, and we'll have 185-pounder Icon was his last fight. Icon fighting Jorge Masvidal's Icon Fighting Championship. SD Dumas went to 5-0, fucking leveled a dude with a head kick, and then fucking finished him with punches. Man, it's like as the guy was going down, SD caught him with a shot too. Fucking, it was beautiful. He's going to be joining us next week, man. He is a star on the rise. He is not a future star. He is a star. And, you know, you want to get that name SD Dumas in your brain because you're going to want to be a fan of this cat, man. He's been through hell, got shot like 8 times when he was 16 years old or something like that. I mean, he lives an incredibly crazy life, and we're going to have him on the show next week. Until then, boys and girls, I am Christopher James. Thank you so much, man. Don't forget Island Fight 71 this weekend. I believe we're going to be on Fight TV. I'll have to get back to you and let you know. Don't forget the Pillow Fighting Championship this weekend. Marcus Brimage is out there swinging pillows and fucking people up. We got BKFC Jackson this weekend. It's going to be a crazy weekend full of combat and fun, man. And we'll talk about it all next week, man. So until next time, I am Christopher James. You guys have been Cage Side. We'll talk again soon. Good night.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get Sausage Biscuit. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip Producers. There you go, baby.